Talk to me, Michele. On the street lights on the corner. City vibes got a story. Feel the beat, don't ignore me.
What's going on, everybody? Another episode live here on the YouTube. I appreciate everybody tuning in to another episode of Talk to Me, Michele. Of course, I'm your host, y'all, Michele with that one L. Y'all know how we do over here. Thank you guys for tuning in on your busy evening. If you was really busy, you wouldn't be here, right? But hey, I appreciate it anyhow. I want you guys to do me a solid. If you've not hit the subscription button, please do so right now. If you have not shared, that's all we do. See, we always talk about supporting each other, and all you gotta do is hit a share button. You ain't got to spend no money. You can if you want to, but I'm gratified with the share. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so I appreciate everybody up in here, and I hope you guys have really relaxed. You got your cocktails. The kids are in the other room. You done gave them their melatonin. I know how it goes. All right, so we're going to have a good conversation this evening. I have the pleasure of talking to a comedian that I've been dealing with her co-host for a couple of weeks, as y'all well know, Big Vino. And now I get the pleasure of talking to his co-host. They are hosts of a podcast that if you guys have not seen it yet, it is hilarious. Most Valuable Podcast, okay? You can also catch them around local cities, you guys, because they got a big show coming up. They're going to do a live podcast, and I'm going to have her tell us about that. So let me please welcome in my guest, Miss Victoria Said It, a.k.a. Victoria McGraw. Hey, girl.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, girl. How's it going on your end?
Hey, it's Thursday. It's Friday Eve, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
I got my wine, so it's.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Mhm.
Okay, cheers. So I appreciate you taking time out because I know you guys usually host your podcast and do a recording, but I know you guys had to take some time out. So I appreciate Vino giving you permission.
We don't do that. Ain't no permission needed. Listen,
I knew it. I knew what the permission needed. So you guys have a great show.
What is it? Don't let the Newark Jersey Negro confuse y'all.
But I love Vino. I love you guys' podcast. Yes. You guys have got some good vibes going on there. So I continue to watch every episode, and it's funny. It's hilarious, y'all. So you guys have got to check out an episode when they are together because it's hilarious. But hilarious. You are in the comedy game as well. So I got to tap on your background. St. Louis, right?
St. Louis, STL MO314. Do not associate with me with Nelly nor Sexy Red. That's all I'm going to say.
So no affiliation. Well, I want to know how that actually prepared you for your current career that you're doing right now. I mean, you're doing comedy, you're doing podcasting. How did that background get you uploaded for this episode?
I think for me, my background, I was told later on I've always been funny. I just was not honing in on the stand-up or the comedy part of it. And just like most people get on stage during open mics, like I can hold a room for, 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes on stage is a long time. And so a lot of my more of my St. Louis hustle and my networking skills kind of got me to where I'm at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes a lot for you to get up and talk to big names, big headliners and be like, hey, can I get a little time on your stage?
Yeah.
And you may not be the greatest, but confidently you let me get on the stage. Let me, please. Yeah. And that's it. But with St. Louis, it's just my thing is if you can't do something there, you ain't gonna be able to do it nowhere else. St. Louis has kind of bred people to be more of, I don't know, because y'all ain't got no good examples of how St. Louis is. Jason Tatum is from St. Louis. He's a basketball player. We're gonna go with Jason Tatum. Bradley Beal.
Okay.
We got athletes like a month ago. Cedric the Entertainer really ain't from St. Louis.
So I heard.
Yeah, but he claimed it. So comedy wise, we actually got a lot better going for us because you got Guy Torre and Joe Torre, the Torre brothers. We got Whew, well, let me come back on some notes on
I'm about to say you had to come back on them notes on that one because you.
I keep, but Joe and Guy have done a lot for the culture, for comedy, and being, acting and stuff. So
Exactly. I mean, but with the culture from St. Louis, I mean, St. Louis has got a lot to offer now. It's a great city, and
it's a
it got
great
a lot
city.
of great attributes to it. But now
That
that
it
you're
does.
in comedy, I know you had to get most of that comedy style from St. Louis.
I would say so. I mean, honestly, it's just me. It's like from what I've learned on it, and I'll be honest, a lot of my, I don't know what is my right now, but a lot of my like mentors are not from St. Louis, so that kind of helps though. Um, I'll say a lot of the people I learned from are like East Coast, like New York, because it's like they have a lot more speed to them. So you gotta, you know, jump in, and St. Louis is a lot more calm, a little laid back.
Mm-hmm.
We like to roast niggas. Like honestly, that's our thing. We got to hear more. To hear more is a comedian who's from St. Louis. Yeah, he's listen. We got examples. I just gotta come back to you.
Yeah, we'll come back. We
Yeah,
ain't gonna write the inventory right now, but I know with St. Louis being in your background and that of course, you're authentically gonna be yourself regardless of where you come from.
right.
But you're a comedian, a podcaster, and a mom. So
Yes.
how are we balancing everything out?
See, I've been a mom for 20 years now, so I kind of got that part kind of down. My oldest is 20, my youngest is 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how to start it. But for me, it's a little bit different out here because I'm out in North Carolina. So this is a whole nother ballgame. I don't have no support out here. I don't have anybody like saying, "Hey, I can come pick up your kids, drop them off, do this, do that." I don't have none of that here.
Yeah.
So, and then I got a 20-year-old who don't want to drive. I don't know what that is about the new folks. They don't want to drive. So,
Yeah. And I noticed that my sister and I were just having this conversation earlier with this younger generation, and it's just like they don't want to do. It's just the generation of I don't want to.
that's it.
Yeah.
And then you got Lyft, you got Uber, and you got, all these different things that my mom would have been like, so I'm gonna let you in a car with a stranger to take you somewhere else. All right,
Exactly.
well, like it don't add up, but hey, I was taught on stranger danger. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants that?
Exactly. I don't understand it because I know when I was at the age when I was getting ready to drive, I could not wait to get behind the steering
Not
wheel.
wait. Like I was a little hesitant because I saw my mom like beat my brother because he took the keys without her knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. So
yeah.
you see your co-host in here.
Why did y'all let him on here? Ain't nobody blocked him. Don't y'all got a code on here?
I can't really do that. Had it been a couple months ago, because I couldn't stand his ass a couple months ago. But now, he's like grown on me. It's like a fungus thing.
He has that way that you just like, all right, man. Like,
Yeah.
you too, my guy. Like, yeah, okay. But no, I will say, hey, listen, we got shows coming up together. He is going to let me have it, but it's okay. It is, listen.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely keeps me abreast about the tour schedule and everything going on with the podcast, which is, like I said, a great again. How did you two, matter of fact, get together to get the podcast popping?
Okay, so my other job, my career position, I guess you want to call it, had me in DC, and of course I'm doing this comedy thing. And a good friend of ours, Clint Coley, was doing Clint Coley and Friends, and he had worked with me before. Like Clint is one person I'm like, hey, can I get some stage time? So I was like, hey, I'm gonna be in DC the same time. Can I jump on the show? And I literally just came in on some like, all right, let's go. Now, mind you, before I had seen Vino through like live and I'm like, all right, he seems cool. I wasn't on no creepy shit. I was just like, I was getting around like the comedy scene. Like I didn't know any other comedians beyond the people I'm around in Raleigh. So I was like, all right. So I get up there, do some stage time, and then I'm like, thanks, y'all. Peace out. And we just got cool. That night, we got cool because, and it's so fucked up, but we got cool because his car had got broken into. And I was like, damn, like you can't just be like, hey, I'm out, y'all. Y'all figure that out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not that person. So I was like, damn, I feel so bad. And I'm just like, we all hung out and all we could do was just like, shit, you drink the thoughts away and police report. And then that was it. It was cool. It was from that point on, I was like, man, so, I checked in on him like, hey, you good? Of course, that was a fucked up ride back because you got your whole window broken in, and then like you don't want to throw in like some shit on there talking about that's why I ain't even drive here. Like, I didn't want to be that. I wasn't that person out loud. In my head, I was like, that's why I ain't drive here because niggas be breaking into cars, okay, and I don't play with DC, like so.
Yeah, I would.
But we just been cool, and then it was like, you want to do a podcast? And I was like, I don't know, like, and I said, I agreed. I said, okay, let's do it, and we do it accordingly. He knows my schedule. He knows that I'm just like sometimes I'm like the introvert me has tapped in. She's tag team. She's got it. But so I'll blame our scheduling too on sometimes my introvert Victoria speaks out loud. And she'd be like, sit your ass down and go inside. So
I hear you because I'm a deep, deep introvert. I mean, this is probably the most social I'm going to get from this point on in my life. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I don't mind having mixes and chilling at the, the comedy club. But, if it's a choice, my black ass is out in the sitting area with a glass of wine and Netflix. I'm good.
I just told somebody else this. I'm like, y'all don't understand. Like, as soon as my 20-year-old says, I'm going to go with my boyfriend, I'm like, cool. Then as soon as my 4-year-old dad says, hey, I'm coming into town, cool. I'm done. I socialize every now and then. I host open mics. And when I host the open mic, I'll be like, this is it. And I'm like, bye. Like, I'm super, I don't know. I thought I was socially awkward, but people always make me feel like I'm not. So I'd be like, I guess I'm not, but
it's not. Trust me. And you know what? The more people you interact with, the more of an introvert you become. Because you're like, you know what? I was on the right path. Why did I open my door up?
I did. And I just be like, and then when you know somebody like Vino who always be like, so what you doing? What is it? I'm like, you're this is introvert territory right now. Like,
right, this is this is my time. Let me have this right now.
So, but I tend to just kind of like, be to myself for the most part though. Like, I don't know. I just, even with my kids, I'll be like, I know I had y'all, but we ain't got to hang around all the time together. Like, I don't understand that. Like, nobody told me that when you had a baby, you like, I got to spend all my time with you.
It's almost like taking marriage without the intimacy.
It really is. It is. Like, you don't give me nothing. You take. And I see, Michele, now you finna get me mad at my kids. And now I'm finna go in there again.
No, I'm feeling your pain because, I'm blessed with a family that helped me out with my son when he was younger. But I'm like, you still need that moment of, your you time.
Yeah.
It's necessary. So you don't click. Because if, even when I'm just chilling, listening to something, and somebody come in the room and they just start, interrupting the piece. I'm like, chill for a minute.
It never fails. It never fails. I'll be like even today, I had to give a whole speech. Like, look, this is what we doing today. I need quiet time. Just shh. I'm gonna give y'all the whole rest of the house. Y'all can go do whatever.
Do whatever. Just let me have this. Just let me have this corner right here.
Just a little. For my own house that I pay bills. I pay everything. Like when you got one broke best friend, now I got two. Like I'm tired. I'm
Yeah.
tired.
But for you to be an introvert, which I completely understand,
Hmm.
what motivates you to step out of that zone? Because I know for me, I got, I tell myself, you got a podcast to do.
Yeah.
So you got to get on camera, you got to get on the microphone. So I think I'm good with that. But you
This right
actually
here.
perform
Yeah.
and have to interact with people face to face on a regular basis. How do you shift? Because sometimes you're going to be introduced to energy that you really don't want to deal with.
And I have been there before. So I have really great friends called like Don Julio and depending on if Uncle Nearest is in a room or Champagne. She's a really good friend. So those are the ones that keep me
Cheers.
yeah, listen. It's just it really I'm a wine girl. Chardonnay might pop up, you know what I'm saying? And I have friends who are like, oh, I can't do alcohol. I'm like, I can't. But like as long as I'm not like stepping over myself, I feel like this. If as long as I don't feel like I have to go into the AA meeting, like
I'm not behind the wheel.
I'm not behind the wheel. I'm not behind the wheel.
I'm not
I'm not
handling no
doing
business.
this. You know, like I'm not doing this by myself. I'm not sitting here in a room crying and on live talking about y'all gonna drink with me. Like, no, it's not that.
I would rather have that bottle therapy behind the scenes than get on live because see that's also a dilemma we have to deal with. We was talking about this younger generation. They don't want to drive. They don't want to do shit. Hell, people don't want to talk to each other behind the scenes no more.
Not at
Everybody
all.
got to know everything nowadays. I'm like, why do I know all this about you? Why?
I shouldn't. I don't want to know all of it. Sometimes, like that's why, and that I kind of I fight myself on that because I see like other girls doing other things. I'm like, you gonna let everybody know all that? I can't. I'm not that person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not. I just had matter of fact, it was on Vino's live when I had a gentleman ask me about my sex life, and I'm like, don't get it twisted. Just because I don't announce stuff online,
mhm.
don't necessarily validate what you think.
E-
Okay,
Exactly. Exactly.
and I think people just are amazed when people have boundaries of their own privacy. Like you don't need to know all this.
And but that's my biggest thing. And for me, and I talk to Vino about this all the time. Like we be around people. Like I've been around names that I'm like, oh shit, like. But anybody else would be like, man, she probably sleeping with them. First of all, if I was, I wouldn't be in the rooms I'm in. So listen, I'd be sitting up in a room by myself with furs and Hermes and Birkins if I was not trying to get some time on stage. It's just not what I'm doing for it.
No, I mean, but people make these assumptions because I know when you, especially if you hang around particular men too much, naturally assumptions start. Oh, y'all must be sleeping together. I'm like,
Mhm.
you mean men and women can't be friends? Y'all just assume that if we cool like that, there's got to be some intimacy in the mix.
Exactly. And for me, I'm like I grew up with a brother. Like me, it was me and my brother for the most up until my sister decided to be born, and like that's all I knew. I grew up with my brother. I was a wrestler in high school, so I grew up around boys. So that was it. Now, don't get me wrong, my wrestling saying there was some fine boys. They
Right?
finer now than they were in high school though.
Of course.
So that's different. But in high school, they was annoying. But I'm like, now I'll be like, we wrestled together. You ain't ever trying to touch me? That's crazy. I'm ugly. Like that's kind of how I'm
You
like.
had the opportunity was there, and you had the perfect excuse, but you just bypassed all that. But
You really saw me as a friend? Damn, I'm ugly. Okay, like
I'm like, yo,
uh,
dude, I'm down for a rematch.
just in case, you want to touch tag, whatever you want to do, but no, I'm really on my Dave Chappelle shit. Like I start to feel like I might be the ugly one because don't nobody want to talk to me like that. Like
I think
no.
it's because you're an attractive woman, Victoria. Okay, and I feel that just because you're not the first go to, don't mean that you ain't it. You know what I mean? So, and I think with this culture we have nowadays, they really try to push that narrative. I'm like, you think this is something new? Do you think by a bypass that I belittle my value anymore? Y'all don't know my ego.
At all. Like, and like I said, for me, it's like that. It's like I don't have to deal with everybody, so I'll be so into my like zone by myself that like even the people I be around, I'll be like that girl won't be back tomorrow. Like I know their personality. So many guys that I be around, I'm like, bro. She be like, what's your name? I'm like, you not gonna be around next time I see you.
It don't matter. Don't register my name.
Don't even look me up on Instagram.
You ain't gonna need it.
I can't help you at this point. So like that's a lot of my face be like this the whole time. Like I don't know what you want me to do. Like, and then I've had girls be like, oh yeah, follow me on. I'm like, I'm not going to.
I think, but if you don't mind me, what's your zodiac?
I'm a Libra.
I knew it. Libra sister. Okay. We
Libra
got the
gang.
Libra gang. I vibed it up in the air, but because we got the introvert in common, the I don't give a damn, I kick it with the homeboys vibe. And that's another thing I know I want to tap on because I assume that you had a lot of male friends more than female friends coming up.
Yeah, I did.
Yep. I knew it.
Like, because females, even now, I just be like I have big, like you said, Libra energy. So we tell everything on our face. So it'll be a girl, what you looking at me like that for? I'm not looking at you, sweetie. I'm really not paying any mind to you. But
it's the resting bitch face that comes in the DNA when the Libra.
I've had it since birth. And I got a shirt that I want to put together and it's my baby picture on it. And I just, because it's like.
But you got the same look on your face as a baby.
Like, what? Like, why? My mama knew. She was like, right then and there, I knew. I was like,
yo, I got
just imagine with no glasses, I'm just in the like with a little boop of hair, and I bald is a bird, baby, and I was all attitude. So
the vibe is on the face. I'm telling you, and as Libras, sometimes that's one of our things that we will get jumped on about because we might be thinking about something and it's just expressed in our face. Not even like you said, not even looking at you. But I have a stank look on my face. You know why? Because I got a stank thought on my mind.
And it got nothing to do with this moment right here. It could be like, I can't believe that motherfucker text me that. Like, and you thought that was how we was. Like, I literally had a text today and I was like, I didn't even know I still had your number. Sorry, like, what are we doing here?
And don't get me started because Libra also comes with that touch of petty. It's not a deliberate petty, but it's a touch of petty that it's like a crack addict. You know, they got to have a hit every once in a while.
Every now and then. See, I'm not as petty as my co-host Vino. Now that's a petty nigga. But I have it in me. I live vicariously through him. I'm petty through him sometimes. Like when he do shit, I be like, that's crazy. Like I go through and get all. I was like, oh wait a minute. And I go and scan through all of them. But I be like, I'm petty through him. Like when he's more petty, just know I be back there like, go petty. Like I'm ready. I just don't give him that. Like right now, he probably learning right now. Like, oh, should really be applauding my petty. I do.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to know, like, nigga, you just as petty as me. Like, I don't want that.
I thought I was petty. And sometimes my sister has talked me off my petty ledge and vice versa.
Yeah.
And when I met Vino, I said, this is my petty soulmate for real. Because, yo, you, I told him this before. You take your petty and you use it creatively.
He does.
Creatively petty is what it's about.
And then don't let me get on the podcast. And like I said, I live vicariously through his pettiness. And like if we get on the podcast together and I start drinking, and then I just be like, I'm gonna throw some shots too. Pew, 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 pew. Like, so when y'all hear stuff, just know I've had a few drinks by this time. And my petty be like, come on out, let's go. I'm like, okay, so like, let's go for it.
I,
Like,
I, I try to keep it to a bare minimum, but if I do have the window to take a shot, and if it's a necessary shot,
mhm.
I gotta go ahead and go for it because it's been on my heart.
It's sitting there, and I heard like when you hold in petty, it's not good for the blood pressure.
It's not.
It's not. So you gotta release it, and when it happened, you be like, it's like a cigarette. It's like, you're like, all right, that's all I needed, and it'll be a while, before I release the petty again. But just know it's building up.
You just came up with a good idea. They need petty vapes.
Every time
you feel like being petty, you hit that vape and you
and you just tell somebody, hey, this helps you. This saves your life. Like,
you don't know. I was about to go in before I hit this vape. For real.
Like I probably do it mentally, not necessarily physically, but I literally go, and I go to myself, I breathe, I'm like,
yeah. Good Jesus.
Because like every now and then when my ears get hot, I be like, cool down. Like that's my note. Like, oh, you finna get, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Let me back up.
Because I was like, I feel it. And I'm like, and so I have a sarcastic button that likes to pew, pew, pew. So sometimes it'll come out and I'll be like,
I don't even care how I'm sorry to say this, but I'm at a point in my life, I don't care how my bullets fly anymore. I mean, I try to keep it to the point so you get the point and we can leave it alone. But see, if you keep on bouncing on it, and I already landed. Why are we on it again?
Yeah, the plane has landed. We have disengaged. Everything is off. Why are we still here?
We should not be here. So if you still want to harp on this, I'm gonna let you have that. But if you keep harping around me, then the sarcastic ass side of me is gonna come out.
And see, there's a trigger for me because going back and even think about like if in the last 6 months to a year or so, if you've seen Vino at his very big petty, and I tap in on that, it's because sometimes I'll go back around and be like, if I see somebody on live talking shit, and I'm like, all right, they was talking shit, but I ain't gonna tell Vino. I ain't gonna tell him nothing.
No, you don't.
But when he hears me say something during the podcast, and he be like, where did that come from?
It's just been suppressed.
I don't know. Listen,
I've been suppressing this shit. I was trying to hold it back. You just got me in a conversation zone that tapped on that, and here I am.
And it left because I thought we was done. I thought the situation was done. I thought people was over. I thought we was grown. Why are we still here?
We're still here. And please don't let it be a man in that position, because I'm be like, look, I don't know if we need to check your boxes or your briefs or your thong. What's going on with you?
What is the problem? And I'm a big stickler for that. Like for men to be in a very sassy flavor, I don't vibe with that. Like I know men hate to be called sassy, but I've seen some sassy men and I'll be like, like that's where we are. And honestly, that's probably why I'm more of an introvert too. Because if I get to find out like people I admired at one point or people that I look up at in any form or fashion, I'll be like, like that's the person you really are. I'm like,
yeah. It's disappointing. And what's funny? You said I just did my last audio episode on the fate of being attracted to not being attracted, pretty much.
Right.
Because you meet somebody, and I use that as an example. I met a personality out here, heard he was an asshole beforehand. But I said, you know what? I like to give everybody an opportunity to show me who they really are.
Hmm.
And hey, I will say in that case scenario, everything I heard was correct. Asshole.
And see, once you get that moment, you be like,
it's a wrap.
I have nothing else for you. Like
Mm-mm.
it, I would say I'm lucky enough to have been around the people I've been around who aren't assholes. Like I can say, I've been around people that be like, man, you did not have to be like this, and they hella cool, and I just been lucky. Like they could be assholes. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I know, especially being like a new comedian, like I'm not the funniest, I'm not the greatest, but I've had people give me chances that I'd be like, damn, you ain't even have to do that. So, I mean, those have been my best opportunities or best chances to meet people that make me feel like, and I will say this, I'm an extrovert with certain people. Like
Yeah.
if certain people come to town, you're gonna be like, damn, you was out all weekend. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
But if certain people in town, I'm like, one night only, one night only. Like that's it. Like it just depends on my energy. But it's like I have some people who come into town, and I literally be like, "Hey, y'all got Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Okay, cool. I'm gonna come every show. I'm gonna come kick it with y'all and do this." Like that's where I'm at with it. Like I love um those people. Like because I love that space.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
feel you.
yeah.
I gotta have that certain energy, but we do have a question from the audience. Jules asked, "What made you get into comedy?"
So let's say I loved comedy for like most of my life, but honestly, therapy made me get into comedy. And that's only because I always wanted to do it. Okay, so I'll say this: between therapy and COVID, it
Mm.
was like I was literally getting ready to go like an open mic. I had researched. I'm like, okay, I go to open mics. Like, cool, let's go. And have 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes of time, and have this. And I'm like, okay, I think I got it. And COVID happened, and it was like shut down. And
Yeah.
mind you, at that time I was pregnant, so my daughter, I was like, damn, I'm like, I ain't gonna have an opportunity. Like, when COVID started flying, I was like, this the end of the world, and I don't know what's gonna happen. And I didn't do what I thought or what I said that I wanted to do. And it was like, I'm really getting ready to miss the chance of not doing something. And then my therapist was like, it was something I was crying about. She was like, well, why not you? And I said, bitch, why not me? And I'm like, I pay you for this. And
Exactly.
I was like, you're right. Enough said. Thanks. But
Mhm.
I still preach on therapy. Like I love therapists. Because in my little cry moments when I be wanting to just let it all out, they listen to me and they get paid to listen to me. That's cool.
That's it.
Yeah. So, but when it comes to comedy, I always loved it though. I always loved Sinbad, Richard Pryor. Like I've always been a fan of comedy. Like if you could put on stand up all day, I literally could watch it and just be like, man, look at this, look at that. Like I could just sit there. Um, I remember who was that? Sinbad had a cassette. This is how young I'm going to like. He had a cassette that I played, and I could only play that one because it was the only comedy that was clean. And it's so funny, my comedy's not clean, but I would listen to Sinbad and I would laugh at the same jokes. And I'm like, this is hilarious. He's talking about his family and this is funny. And I'm like, I want to do that. So it's like when I started getting into it though, when I really started writing, when I started really like, how does this work together and watch, my mannerisms and talk to people. I'm like, damn, like I can do this. And then it doesn't help that I be around like, to me, rock stars in the industry. Like I've been around some major people and you be like, I'm kind of doing something right because they like me around. Like
Yeah.
so, but it's I know my pattern, or my path and my journey is not gonna be like everybody else's. I know that, you know, there's so many people who be like, oh well, girls aren't funny, or and a lot of my mentors and people I hang around are guys. And I've been, blessed to be able to talk to a few female comedians, but it's always something. Um, but for me, the comedians I've been around, they haven't been like that. So I've been blessed for that. Like, so to get into comedy, it really was like a therapy with a time to like get away from my kids. Don't tell them that. And like, but no, you can tell them that. I don't care. They know that it's the time that I don't have to listen to Bluey. It's the time that
Woo.
you be sitting here like, oh my God, I'm an adult. And honestly, it's a whole bunch of stuff that has like built this snowball effect of why I got into this. So for me, even when I'm writing now, I'm writing and I'm seeing like I'm seeing me write out. Sometimes I write out the same jokes, but I'll go back into notebooks that had the old joke in there, how I originally started it out. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm here. So this joke went from like a sentence or two. Now it's like a paragraph. Now I'm like, okay, where can I mix match? And I'm adding all this stuff together. And it's my creativity that I've always like I've loved. And I grew up, I did theater in college. Which I didn't think would have nothing to do with this, but it does. When I talk about it, I'll be like, damn. Because at first I didn't want to talk to people. Again, I'm an introvert. So when you got a class and and a teacher who was like, I had to do public speaking. I had to do public speaking. And I was like, I'm in class, like, you want me to do what? She was like, you need to do a
Yeah.
monologue. And I was like, I don't wanna.
Yeah.
And my ass was like, I could do anything. She was like, any movie, any play, do one. My ass did the monologue from Devil Wears Prada. When she talked about the
Oh,
color, baby, I delivered. Because I felt that. I was like, oh. And like, even when I'm trying to refrain from saying it because I'm like, I know I'm gonna mess it up because I don't know all of it by heart. But that monologue by Meryl Streep was just like, damn, that shit was cold. And I became a character. So it was like, now in comedy, I'm me.
yeah.
And I'm delivering y'all my script. And that was it. That's it, honestly.
But you said something that was key earlier about comedy being therapeutic for you.
Mm.
Because I'm like you, I love comedy. I'm not a comedian. I couldn't do it, but I find my outlet through podcasting, and that to me is therapeutic.
True.
And with comedy, I think not only is it therapeutic, but you helping other people because when I go to a comedy show, I'm not only looking forward to seeing the craft in motion, I need a good ass laugh. I need to be in a relaxed atmosphere. That's all I want to do is just joke and jive and just have some fun.
Yep. And for that reason alone too, and you making it funny. Like everybody got, a situation. Like I got a situation. I'm still building it out. I've talked about it on stage in like open mics, but I'm working on last year they found like a lump in my left. Is it my left? Yeah, this is my left boob. So they found a lump in my left boob, and it was like, oh shit. And I was like, why ain't no man ever feel that? Like, why I have to do a mammogram for this? And the ladies just start bugging up. And I was like, joke. I like, and I just thought it's finding the funny in it. And I've heard, different comedians say that, like, it's finding the funny in every situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that shit one time on an open mic, and I was like, I'm just mad at all the men who said they were breast men. And y'all ain't never feel that. Like,
You never felt nothing.
all my titty been growth now. And listen, any man I've dated as a boob man after me, I am sorry for itty bitty titty committees. But after me, they love titties. They definitely.
Okay, but all the groping, no lump, baby. What's that? None of that.
You ain't doing your job. Get on your job.
Yeah, the foreplay is lacking, brother. If you ain't feeling everything up in here.
Listen. So that, like I said, with that situation, I was like, that's not normally funny for most people because they be like, nah, they like breast cancer is not funny. And I'm like, luckily, I'm blessed to say like they didn't find anything. But again, you still got to find the funny in all that shit because the world we living in, you got to laugh to keep from crying. Like, that's it.
That's all it is. Because I always say humor itself is therapeutic. Because I know I was telling Vino last time we did a show was that, yo, I got to have that every day. I don't care if it's a small hee hee or just a little chuckle. It's got to be something of humor every day. Because I know some during the day it's something that's not going to go exactly as we plan. We
Yeah.
always visualize how we're going to get this done. Do that. It don't always happen. Something throw you off and it pisses you off. Like, look, somebody make me laugh real quick, or I'm going to make myself laugh.
And I will say that I got a friend of mine that I always claim like he a vampire because this nigga has looked the same for I'm telling you, he's looked the same for the last, I've known him since at least 2017, 17? No. It's somewhere in the early like 2000s. Like it's been like I've known this nigga for a long ass time. And I be sitting there like, bro, you have not aged. What do you do? And his literally like his main thing was I have a belly laugh. Like a deep, gut wrenching belly laugh at least once a day. And I'm like, that shit don't be working. Like, but he just really good, you know. And then black folks, we got great genes, so it definitely, it never hurts to add on to our regiment. You know what I'm saying? So, I valued that though. I was like, damn, when you really laugh and laugh at just something, you really it changes you. It makes you feel some type of way, like and it's the situations and things that I laugh at. I probably be like, if I share this with y'all can't judge me. Like that's how I be feeling. And with comedy, I'm that way. I'm like, if I share this with y'all, now this stays here. But I know people going I will say I have the most judging crowd that every time I feel like everybody judging me. They are. But again, it's my favorite part of comedy.
Well, you know what? You was talking about the age factor of your friend having the gut laugh. I thought of Godfrey immediately because
he's one person. Yeah,
Godfrey is Blade.
Yeah.
He's a daywalker.
He's aging backwards. I don't see where he gets nothing. I'm like, I just be sitting here watching him. I'll be like, you don't turn off, like you be the same way.
Yo,
since BET, we talking about BET Comic View, like
way back when.
Def Jam, like
he don't age. And he got the same energy level. I'm like, dude, please check your DNA because I know Red Bull have to be in the mix somewhere.
Listen, if not, they need to use his blood for the recipe. Like, cause I don't get that. And then who is like Tony Rock's another person to me that you just be like,
what?
I'm like, why don't you sit down? And I've heard him sit there and be like, yeah, I love being a rock star. I'm like, nigga.
Yo, I can barely
I be sitting there like, y'all still gonna hang out? I'm like, okay, like how many shots of tequila we gonna have? Like,
I ain't gonna have too many more because I'm gonna let y'all have that.
Now tequila has turned into my Red Bull because it's got to be a good tequila though. So if you can get me on the right tequila and ice, I'm one of these.
I get too chatty. Everything I've been suppressing, it just makes its way out. When I'm deeply under the influence, I cannot do that because then I make enemies.
See, I like I said, it's the right tequila though. It's the right tequila that keeps me like, all right, cool. Now, like you get like little regular Don, don't be around me. But you get like 1942, I'm like, all right, I'll shut my mouth, dating. Like, I'm quiet, but I'm watching everything. I'll be sitting there
observing and taking
niggas, they hate being around me when if I'm on some tequila. Niggas be like, here she go. I'll be like,
you know, it's certain elements. You know, all our vices. Everybody's got a vice, but certain vices, whatever you decide on doing, it heightens like your superpower at some point. At some point.
And I'm nosy, y'all. I am nosy. I know everything without knowing nothing. I'll be like,
You sound like me because I be watching and I be knowing. I don't necessarily be making no announcements, but I'm like,
I don't
that
say
makes
nothing. You ever be in a room, you know everything. You like,
everything.
oh, okay. Like,
Ooh, I know what they're talking about. What they're talking.
I'm not gonna lie. I had one friend caught me in the middle of my nosiness because I was sitting there watching. It was like 3 people. I was like, and he was just sitting there. And he was like, "Nigga," I was like, "Huh?" He's like, "You nosy as shit." I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Nah." Like well, I've never been caught in my nosiness. That was the scariest time of my life.
Well, I don't give a damn. I tell folks all the time. It depends on what it is and how bored I am. If I want to entertain it.
If it's true, like, is this worth the shit that I can start? Like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. No. I'm like, is it worth? Like, I have to outweigh the pros and cons of my shit starting. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna sit this one out because
Like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's gonna get deep. But you know what? I did catch a clip, and I wanted to bring this up before we wrap this up because you guys cover trending topics on MVP. Y'all covered the topic of the passenger who is currently suing Lyft for not picking her up because of her size. I must say, it was hilarious as hell. Okay, number one. But in reality, I don't think she gonna get no money out of that.
Listen, like I said in the podcast, she should have been looking for a forklift. And that came out, and I was like, but I wasn't lying though.
Yeah.
Like, so it along with the lines of like drinking and stuff like that. It's along the lines of like, I'ma sue this wine company because I'm an alcoholic. You ain't push your ass away from the glass. Like,
that's my side hustle. And with that being a side hustle, it's like I know how the procedure goes. That driver was very nice because there would have been no conversation. Because as soon as I even got that close and I see the icon and it matches where you standing, damn, I'm not even debating with it.
Because I listen, I know everybody about a couple of Reese's away from being overweight, whatever. But I feel like we know. You know, like,
you know, stop playing.
I looked in the mirror and be like, man, you know, this shirt do not fit no more. Throw it away. But also, stop eating. Get away from the table.
But the whole scene gave me a Norbit flash. That scene where she was getting ready to go down the slide and they said they had a weight limit. And she's like, I was 265. I'm like, Heifer, you know you don't. Stop it.
You know what it reminded me of? It did remind me of Norbit. But she was like, it was like, ma'am, you have to wear a bikini. You have to wear bottoms to this shit.
Bottoms. I am wearing bottoms.
I was like, I say, you know what? Like, people talk about Eddie Murphy in that movie, but that nigga, you know, hell of a fight.
I don't care what nobody say about Norbit. That will always be a classic to me.
Hey, what do I say? Mother of God.
Holy mother of God.
Like, what? And it, like I said, that whole movie from even Marlon Wayne's crazy ass being in there as the instructor. And I was like,
yo,
how did we get here? And I'm like, why she power tap? So first of all, somebody needs to be sued because she power tapping and ain't lost nothing. She just like,
and you had private sessions, sis. Ain't nothing dropped yet. So
ain't nothing dropped. And in reality, I would never want to be that size and my dude that I'm messing around be that skinny. That just don't.
Oh God!
Like, y'all starting fires or roasting bacon or something.
Roasting bacon, yo! I'm done. I'm done. But I was just like, you know what? Let's be realistic about situations here. And I think people are lawsuit happy because, like I said, had he said something derogatory or racial, then yeah, you might have had a chance of getting some change.
He never said nothing wrong. He said
nothing wrong.
My boy say my tires don't work. My tires don't. My tires don't work. He said that they need fixing.
Yeah, I would have had an accent and act like I was speaking a different language for real. That would have been a good one. Like, no English, no.
When I say I would have turned the cue on to some, I would like Asian and be like, oh no, my car no fit for you. It's no fit for you. It's no fit.
No. No.
Listen, y'all would have been like, what is she? It'd have been a little Spanish in there. No necesito too big.
Consider me international because I'm gonna throw every accent on you just to get out this ride.
Look, too grande, muy grande, and look, and muy chiquito. Like,
Tequila Taco Bell. That's what we're doing on that ride.
Sauce and burritos to you too. Easy. I would be like,
oh my God.
No. She would have been like, sis. I'd be like, no, sister here. No, sister here. No.
We gonna bypass everything
no,
up here.
No.
Oh Lord Jesus. But yeah, when I saw that, and I was just like, me being a big woman, and like I said, I've been a big girl in my life. But
hey, like
let's have realistic goals here.
Realistic.
Okay.
Listen, as the Lyft driver, I would have played blind. I'd have been like, bitch, I don't see. I can't see nothing. This is wait. The car canceled because I don't know where you're going. I didn't even hear. Like,
I'm not debating with you.
Stevie would have been like, she did good. She did.
Yeah, good. Exactly. He would have gave you a props on that one because he would have understood.
He would have felt that wrist. He'd be like, oh no, baby girl, my tire's no fit for you. Like,
oh no.
I watched the saddest part about that. I watched it and I just started laughing. And then like earlier that day when we talked about it, I heard somebody else talk about it and they just started laughing. Like it was somebody reporting like it was like a actual news report. And in today's news, a passenger was overweight and denied by Lyft, and everybody in the background was like, I was like, oh, so it ain't just me.
No, it's not. Do you understand? Watch several clips that covered that story and see how many reporters was able to keep a straight face if they weren't smirking through that damn story.
Through the whole thing, they sitting there like, I got to report what news? Like, did y'all ain't see her? Like, you can see like, in today's news, rapper goes by the name Dank in Detroit, denied a lift. Here's the clip. Like, when they came back, everybody like, like, wait a minute, y'all ain't tell me that's what we was going to talk about.
Right. You should have showed me the visuals before I delivered the intro.
I had to rehearse this because being a live anchor news anchor on that, I probably would have been like, I would quit my job today because
I require a prep before the story. Give me just a 5-10 second clip before I know what I'm getting into, so I can at least have the tone for the delivery.
And listen, I cannot. And then I'm looking and realizing like what somebody in the comments about 600-pound life. I can't watch that show successfully. Like people be like, oh, I watch every season. How?
I can watch a few episodes max.
Between 600-pound life, what is it, 1,000-pound sisters, and like Hoarders.
Hoarders. I was about to say I can only watch so many episodes of Hoarders because I start itching.
I'll be like, how y'all ain't see that dead rat and it's a cat over there?
You don't smell none of this?
Yeah. And that's the kicker that for me, when people be walking in the house, I'm like, I'm like,
yeah, because the person who lived there, they just normal. Everybody else like, oh my God. They walking in there like it's a morgue.
And that's exactly, and it flies. And then don't let it be the person who be sitting there. I'm like, I'm telling you, I've moved to the South and I have an exterminator on deck because I don't do bugs. Mm-hmm. And when I moved here, they was like, oh, bugs, that's normal. For who?
Not in my home. Outside. Like,
the exterminator, even when I used to live in another apartment, they were like, ma'am, it's not like you don't see any signs or anything. I said, but it's about that time. They like to come in.
Wrap it up.
We got to get it all done. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
So for me to deal with that, I mean, I don't even like my oldest daughter tell you, if it's too many clothes on her bed, I'd be like, this don't bother you? Like, it's just sitting there. It say,
Right.
mom, it's clean. I'm like, but it's just they there. Like
It's
before
in
this,
there.
before we got on here, I'm folding clothes. Like, I gotta put this shit away. I don't even like my basket to be overflown. I'm like,
Trust me. We all have them breakdown points of domestic. I can't take it no more. I've been waiting for you to do it, but I got to do it because I can't take it.
yeah, like
I hate having that.
that's why I said I don't think I ever like get married, because I know a nigga be like, bitch, sit down. Or I'll get to the point I'll be like, you just gonna sit there and let it sit there. And I'll look at you, look at me, look at me, looking at you, like, so we're gonna let it sit there. Now we're gonna be
Well,
hoarders.
that's it.
Now I don't want to be on none of them shows.
Now, when I used to stay with my son's father and he worked construction, and oh my God, like the hamper exists.
And them be the worst.
The hamper
Construction,
exists.
truckers, those guys,
Oh,
they
God.
feel like they do such hard work. So they come in and it's just like,
Okay, well, keeping this place together ain't easy either, homie. Especially when you leave shit in the middle of the floor.
in the middle of the floor, and now I gotta sit there. Listen, I know people be sitting there mad about Shirley Ralph living in her and her husband living in 2 different houses, but baby, I felt that. I felt just a little bit like that's a good idea.
That's a
Like,
good idea. Do you not understand the old school way of tolerating each other with separate living quarters or separate bedrooms?
I didn't know my uncle and aunt was married until I got older. Like, I walked in the house, I'd be like, whose room is this? They be like, that's Shelton and Jackie's. And I'm like, whose room is this? They be like, that's Uncle Alvin. I'm like, okay.
That's the survival key, is to have separate rooms.
And they was married from when she was 18. He passed away, like, I think it's been quite some time, like maybe 10 years ago. But they in their 80s when he passed away. So I looked at it like, well, shit, it made sense to me.
It makes more sense to me now, because when you're younger, you don't really understand. Well, if you're married, you're supposed to be in the same this and same. You around each other all the time, so you need that space.
Yes.
So if it means I can go to my bedroom and you can go to yours, and we be peaceful in the morning,
that's all right.
I ain't got to deal with your farting. You ain't got to deal with my snoring. We good.
That's it. Because as soon as you sit there and say, first of all, if you weren't in my room, matter of fact, if you weren't in the house together, you wouldn't know that I snore. So either deal with it or don't.
Don't.
But
so we gotta have this understanding so we can coexist.
Like I said, I'm 30, I'm 37. I want to say I was like in my like teens when I was like, Aunt Jackie and Uncle Alvin together, like they married. I ain't know that. Like,
happily, because of that formula.
I was like, hey, didn't nobody tell me no different? I was like,
who knew?
That's it. So it worked for them. So
I think that would work for me. If I ever had a marriage situation, I don't think I want to live with nobody no more. I did that, and I don't think I'm doing that again.
I think, especially when you get into your you and your mode, you know where you like things, where I hate going to my sister's and hanging out with her for a little bit. I'm like, bitch, leave it there. Like, so when me and her hang out for a weekend or we go on trips, I'm like, where my toothbrush at? Oh, I moved it, bitch. I sit it here. It's next to the sink. Like,
yeah, you get used to having stuff in a certain spot, and then when you have to share, especially that restroom area, that's just
restroom area. Like, give me a second bathroom then. Let's do baby steps.
Look, I'm having a hard time sharing the bathroom with my son. I never knew sharing a bathroom with my own child would be the most. It's almost like Squid Games.
You're like, what the fuck am I gonna get today? Like,
I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna walk in here and what I'm gonna walk into.
I tell people now, I don't care if I'm on my last, like, oh, you really can't afford this. I can afford at least 2 bathrooms. If nothing else.
It could just be, look, let me just get a 1.5.
1.5.
One and a
If
half, I'd be good.
I tell people, even when I was like finding different apartments and like to where I live in now, they was like, so what are your requirements? I was like, as many bedrooms, I want toilets.
That's what I'm saying. Because I personally, my bedroom is strictly for sleeping and getting dressed in.
That's it.
That's it. It's nothing major going on in there. So everything else, but my bedroom, yeah, that's my space for my quiet, my meditation.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I need that.
And even being with my daughter, and like the older she gets, my oldest daughter, I be sitting there like, so don't nobody else live here? Like, and don't let us have to go back to my house, like in St. Louis, and just stay with my family. We got one bathroom in that house. First of all, I think it's illegal to have one toilet. If you gotta mind you, at one point in my life, there was at least 6 people under the same roof. So one toilet.
Jesus.
Like, you get creative. You start looking at that trash can, you be like, there's a grocery store bag. I gotta make it work. Like,
you gotta go, you gotta go.
And I be sitting there, my daughter be like, I thought you had to go to the bathroom, bitch. Not no more. Like, just I'm washing my hands. Don't worry about me.
Don't worry about it.
I don't want to hear
the bathroom situation. But you know what? We gotta end this off on a personal note, because you brought in the new year with your co-host on the beach. And it was quite an interesting documentary.
I'm gonna tell y'all, maybe he'll see this later, maybe he on here now. I don't know, but y'all got the blur.
I know.
I didn't have the blur, Michelle. There was no blur. Okay. And I was be like, what? That's when I get back in my box of like, when did I become this friend? You know, like, I'm cool, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, do you have a different vibe after you see your friend naked? You know, because do you see him the same?
I see him with more clothes on now. I'll be like, no, gotta stop. Like he was sitting there like, oh yeah, you know, come hang out, and I'll be like, what you wearing? You wearing a sweatshirt? You got on
wearing clothes? Yeah.
Like so I'm gonna say this. I didn't think he was gonna do it. I will say I was just like, he ain't finna do this. And I'm sitting there like, mind you, I'm sitting there, he's doing this. And I'm like, and he was like, I guess and I'm like, to get caught in a moment that you like, you ain't finna do this shit. You like, but okay, so the digital part, the content part of me was like, catch everything, but not everything.
Right.
And I was just like, don't zoom in right there. I was like, And after for a while, I was just like, all right, hopefully it's at the angle here. And I was like, okay. And I heard him come back. I was like, you back? You got, and I threw the towel, like, you got the towel? Cool. I said, I think I got everything. Cause I was a blindly like, after a while, I was like,
I know you was like semi-filming and okay, you done? You done?
I did not think this was gonna happen. I was just like, how do you say like, how do you spend your New Year's Eve? Like, well, I was filming my friend naked on the beach. Like,
that's an original way to spend it, because I was just like, when I saw the final edit, I was laughing my ass off first and foremost. And when I realized you was filming, I said, that poor woman had to.
Y'all got the edit. Y'all got the.
I know.
Since the bars can't pop in my eyes, like at that point, I was like, you know what? I should just be blind at this moment and be like, I didn't see much, but and he gonna sit there talking about, hell, I thought you was gonna jump on it, nigga. Where?
Well, what?
How? When? When was I gonna jump in? In the cold?
That's your drunk ass
Like,
stripping in the ocean. I
but
got
then
nothing
that,
to do with that.
and at that moment, y'all, I'm not finna lie, for that, like, for 24 hours after that, I was like, I should be sober. Like, somebody should sober up in this. Because apparently our alcoholism has gone into this. And I'm just like,
It was
but it didn't help. We had built it up because it was like, you got the, and I guess we was off the adrenaline of like the show. I had got time on the last show they did it in Virginia Beach. And I was like, oh yeah, the funny bone. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, this nigga is really, like, once he did this, I was like,
don't you do it again.
and he's like, I'm gonna make this a tradition. With who?
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a paid position because see, that was in the moment.
Next year, we're gonna tour in different cities. We're gonna be in different cities, baby. Because who gonna do that? Who gonna do that every year? Like, and on the coldest day.
I don't know. I was wondering because, like I said, not only are you butt naked, and I knew it was freezing.
That wind coming off the.
Oh no! See, that was alcohol.
It really was, like, but that's when I walked back. Like, walking back, I was like, we gotta really sober up. Alcohol is horrible. Why would we do this? And I was just like,
his ass should have been good and sobered up by the time he had got through taking that dip. So
all I know is I gave up looking for like 24 hours at least. I was like, I think this is where maybe I should start dry January just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I started it and then Trump got in office and then it just.
I wasn't planning on nothing dry once I realized the election results. I said that's any goals on that path was not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen for the next 4 years.
Not hopefully sooner. Hopefully people get it together and say, hey, this ain't normal. Yeah. But yeah, so once I realized, I was like, you know what, you could be dry-ish. And I do that. Like,
yeah, we'll just do the ish because it ain't gonna be totally clean. Not with this administration. I can't do it.
If I'm socializing, I'm drinking.
Yeah. Well, people will make you drink.
Like, I did a show in Jacksonville and I was just like, we had a heckler and I was like, yeah, I'll take a double shot of whatever whiskey you can give me.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody kept messing with her. And I was like, not here. No. And I went on smooth with my stuff. But at that moment, I'm like, people they encourage you. That's what they do. And it's for me to be like, nah, or how many more drinks we gonna have?
And see that I'm gonna cut it short because yeah, Rocky, I promise you. But I'm just like, yo, you when I know you doing the most, patience is not one of my biggest characteristics, especially when they grown. I'm like, I only got enough for my son. That's it. So if I see there's buttons consistently being pressed, that means you buying me a bottle or I need to go home.
I need to go home. But I will say for my part in Vino's New Year's Eve resolution to his stuff, I don't know. But I will say I was gifted a nice bottle of champagne that was cracked after I did my 24 hours.
Yeah, I would assume that was necessary because
he's great on gifts. He's great on understanding, like, you know what, you deserve this. And yeah. So he's and like I said, in my most drunk times, especially when we on our podcast together, he knows how to make sure. We've discovered the Taylor Port mimosas, and I don't know how ghetto that is.
Oh my God, no, he's talked about Taylor Port, so please give me this rendition of it.
So the Taylor Port mimosas is champagne, and it's champagne. Really, the one at Trader Joe's. That's what we like. We drinking us Blanc de Blanc. It's the white of whites. And then you just add Taylor Port to your liking. I'm gonna say I did this one night by myself.
Oh Lord.
because I was into one of my shows. I'm watching it and I'm drinking. I kid y'all not. I woke up and I was like, who was at the bar? Because that bartender was. I woke up and thought I was like, this is my bed. I was like, that was good.
Right? Because if you had some good spirits mixed up the night before, you like, I'm safely in my bed, even though I'm trying to recall. But as long as I'm safely in my bed.
Safely in my bed is all.
That's the main thing.
It's been a number of times that I've definitely been like, how did I get here?
I can't do that no more. I
can't do it. No, I won't do that. I won't do that
anymore. That was years ago. I'm good.
When you get in the driveway, you be like, damn, I parked the car good as hell.
Yeah. It was definitely a Wolf of Wall Street moment. You thought you did good, but okay, never mind. Right. Anyhow. But Victoria, tell us about this live show you guys got coming up and where people can follow you at.
So the live show will be February 15th at the Playhouse in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Tickets are available online at Playhouse. You got to go to Playhouse Jacks. It's on their Instagram. But that is coming up February 15th. We'll be doing the first Saturday and first live podcast show there ever since they have done their comedy remodel of this room. So I'm excited about it. Jacksonville is definitely it's my little new home. It's Jacksonville, North Carolina, so not Florida. It's got a lot of the same similarities with the same people. You know, everybody in the room just about voted for Trump, but you still enjoy it.
But it's
but it's still an enjoyable moment, and so I'm excited about that. And then everybody want to find me. If y'all want to find me, I am Victoria Said It pretty much everywhere, all one word. And then victoriasaidit.com. Yeah, don't go there today because I gotta refresh some stuff. But if you get back on there, it's usually up to date on where my next show is gonna be. If you're ever in Raleigh, North Carolina, you want to come out to an open mic, I do it every other Wednesday at Haymaker. Keep posted, keep up with me on my social on IG, Victoria Said It, because that's where I really keep everything up to date for sure. A lot of people don't like it because sometimes I'll keep stuff up to date for y'all and then I don't text them back. That's on them. So
I can't with you, Victoria. Man, but I really enjoyed our talk, man, because I learned a lot more about you. We Libra twins up in this piece.
Yes.
Introverts, lovers of comedy, moms. So we got a lot in common. This is not going to be our last conversation. I may actually, if you can stomach an episode with your co-host.
I roll. As long as he sends me a bottle of champagne, y'all know I'll be
noted.
You know, he look, DoorDash something. Shit.
Something. He'll work it out. I'm sure he'll send a party package to make that all happen. But I appreciate you, Victoria, and I want everybody, you guys, tune in, follow her. If you are in her neck of the woods, make sure you guys check out the live podcast with her and Big Vino and support her. Make sure you go to her website. Her website. Yeah, where's your give me your website address.
victoriasaidit.com. So just Victoria SAIDIT.com. You can pick up these fun little. Now this one exclusively is when you see me out and about, but I have heavy hearts. That's what I call it, and it's the sweatshirts, t-shirts, and I also have some. If y'all are Trump, not Trump fans, I got some Not My President shirts, so y'all can definitely get those. So yeah.
All right, Victoria, girl, appreciate you. We will definitely see you in these IG streets.
IG streets, gang. Yeah, thank you.
Gang. Thanks, Victoria. Make sure you guys follow Miss Victoria Said It and check out the MVP podcast with her and comedian Big Vino. And speaking of which, he will be back, y'all. Okay, Vino will be back on the show next Thursday before Valentine's Day. So we're going to be talking about, is you single? Are you in a situationship? And what is it that we are working with when it comes to modern dating? Pain in the ass, you ask me. That's why I'm just like, hey, it is what it is. But I definitely want you guys to check out my boy tomorrow for this particular show.
You look like a slightly irregular pineapple out of Kroger.
It's like Big John Stud.
You discount. You a discount head of bok choy. That's what you look like.
God damn.
Discount head of bok choy.
That's hilarious.
Shit.
That's hilarious.
Fuck you.
You know you want one.
Yes, get your ignorance on tomorrow with my boy, comedian Big Vino for Fat End Friday. I'm trying to be politically correct, y'all. But look, I'm going to see you guys here again live Tuesday where I'll be talking to Angel Cornelius. We're going to be talking about this gray hair. You know what I mean? I want y'all, especially all my ladies in the audience, if you are on the bridge on trying to see, do I need to go fully gray? Do I need to start coloring my hair? And I'm going to tell you my personal journey next Tuesday because it got to a point like, putting down my roots, they was like, Heifer, you got to be kidding me because I'm going to come back with a vengeance. Also, like I said, Thursday, having Vino back on before Valentine's Day, and a new episode will be dropping Tuesday morning so you can listen to me on the go, y'all. So I do appreciate y'all, and I'm going to see you guys next week. Have a good Super Bowl weekend. Do not go crazy out there. If you're going to be drinking, make sure you're in a safe establishment, preferably your home, all right, y'all? So y'all be safe, be merry, and I appreciate y'all. So until next time, everybody, I'm out. Peace.
Talk to me, Michele, on the street lights on the corner. City vibes got a story, feel the beat, don't know.